sorry for this inconvenience. I don't know how many of you are here to understand social media or to understand how to break with social media or just to listen. That's anything is fine. I'm here to just create awareness, but for an hour, what I can do is what I will be able to do. So let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Sandhya, basically a dentist, but loud to always listen to people, be with people. So I was always thinking, like, what to do if dentistry is something which I don't like. Once I practiced for 10 years with my son coming in and all, I was really was not having enough time to spend with my son. Then I switched to something called as clinical research. I don't know how many of you understand clinical research. It is where I worked as a scientist for 10 years. And then again, this wandering mind wanted to learn something, and wanted to be something good at more than what I was learning. Then there is mental health came to my mind because I was always good at with people. Understanding people was always my forte. Maybe it's because I'm a second child born in between. So that's why, it's a sandwich child. So I always loved to do that. So then I decided this is a forte because I really enjoyed people, talking to people. Then I did my master's in counseling psychology, and I'm here for past 10 years. I'm working in this field of mental health. How addiction came into my speciality is like when I was doing my master's, I came across a course in NIMHANS, which was talking about addiction. So that was completely about substance, anything and everything to do with substance, like let it be alcohol, let it be marijuana, let it be smoking, let it be MDM, anything. So that is what is a course which I did. That was around 360 hours of an intense, vigorous course. After that, I think I understood what is addiction, and then once we started understanding substance addiction, then obviously the interest, more than the interest, the need became behavior addiction because I think when I started the post corona, I think internet addiction has become a huge challenge for all of us. When I say all of us, I would include from 8 months to 80 years because it has not left anybody. So, good, bad, yes, there are a lot of good. At the same time, there are a lot of bad. So, that is how my interest to social media came in. And then uh, let's start with the slide. So if you see this, I'm sure many of us would have seen this position of an young adult at home, or maybe if you ask me, just not an young adult, probably I would say the teen at home, or even a 6 year at home. I've seen like this. So, what is this talking to us about? This is talking like, you can see in the position itself, what is it telling? It's telling your lethargic mindset. So, what are your organs very involved there? If you see, that's a big popped up eyes. So if you're seeing the popped up eyes, it's also telling all other things of your body is not actively involved. So which is a biggest threat for us as a mental health professional. It's one of the most biggest threats because they come with sedentary lifestyle, they come with loneliness, they come with anxiety, they come with fear. Ask me, there are many more things which they come with. Okay, so next slide. So why when we talk about why it is important to talk about internet addiction before coming to social media addiction is because it's an umbrella term. Internet addiction is a big umbrella. Under that, social media addiction is one of it. What all other things which come as pornography, gaming addiction, and also you get our the sex addiction, texting addiction, name it, you have all that thing under internet addiction. So today you guys asked particularly about social media, so I'm just talking more about social media. In turn, it's one of the part of the internet addiction. Okay, so why do what when we call something as an addiction, what are the important things we need to look at is, one is there is a compulsion. Like, what is compulsion in addiction is that you don't understand how much of time you are spending on the on let it be on the substance, or let it be on an internet, or let it be on any of the gaming or anything. The compulsion to use it without being aware of what is happening around, and not even having understand the consequences of the threat that is going to cause you. This is a simple term where I will tell you where a layman can understand. There is a compulsion, and there is no awareness of what is happening surrounding you, irrespective of whether it is good or bad. Even if there is a death next to you, you're not aware. So if this is what is happening, then it becomes a case of addiction. But not everybody is addict. We need to understand that, when I say we, I include everybody. It's very fancy to use the word addiction, because somebody is like, shopped for like maybe binge shopping one day. We already said, oh, I'm addicted to it. Or maybe like, just imagine you binge watch one day. No, it is not. At least you need to have certain criterias when it comes to addiction. So you need to be aware, like, what is that hour of spending you're doing. Are you spending, recently I had a session with the school for the same addiction. Then that guy is like, there was a lot of people. I just asked, hey, how many hours are you guys in Instagram? Some said like, 2 hours. I said, okay. Some said, ma'am, I generally don't open. I'm more a YouTuber. I just like to be in YouTube. I said, okay. There's one guy who said, ma'am, how many hours you think I can guess? How many hours? I said, maybe, because the way his curiosity was, then I said, okay, this guy is really aiming a high number. I said, like, maybe 5. No, ma'am, I do it for 12 hours. I was like shocked. So that's an addiction number, if you ask me, okay? Already there is a raised hand. Okay. Yeah, I can take the question. Go ahead.
Like for me also, I am also using the phone for almost like 12 hours. The minimum hours is like 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gautam?
Yeah.
Right, Gautam? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what is the mode of thing? What is your mode of profession you're doing? Because
I'm a student.
Come again?
Student, ma'am.
You're a student. Okay.
Yeah, second year.
Okay, okay. So good you're attending this, because there will see. I'm going to share you a little more information about how to work on it. But I am also just telling you, do you feel tired of 12 hours investing in that?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I think that's an answer, because end of the day we need to understand, if you are not tired and if you are doing something productive under it, then I think I don't call it as an addiction. I would call it as a work. But if you're doing because you are not, you're bored, or maybe because you're lonely, or because you are finding it, you don't know anything else to do than that, then that's a biggest red flag for us. Okay. We will work on it, Gautam, as we pass through. When this problem started, like, when the word internet addiction came into in 1995. Okay, because in India it is like, post COVID we got it, like, 2019. But in US and in China, it was quite early. 1995 itself, there were people selling, like, when the iPad came, rather, you would say, like, iPad started in 1991, and 1995 already kids were into it. Okay, and then congratulations and thanks to Facebook, it created more waves of it started, social media started as a source of connection to people. And uh, and what it is doing today is, I would say, like, it is doing more so of bullying. It's also unnecessary risk to self and others. And also it is giving you a lot of social anxiety, because the same thing, when in the same school, that guy said, like, why I asked this question, why are you on social media? And what is that you look for? Ma'am, you know, what I look for? I look for one like. You know, it's sad. I asked him why. He said, "Ma'am, it gives me a different feeling of happiness." Is that the same with you, Gautam? I can see the nod of your head.
No, ma'am. For my case, it's little bit different. Like it's like a reflex for me. Like each and every day, the cycle is coming on again and again. If it's a holiday, it's very much hard for me to like dispatch from it. Because after my breakfast, I just take my phone for a few 10 or 5 minutes. After that, like the time passes. Like binging and all, when I just
Not
realize
that you're not aware of the time. Time doesn't pass. You're not aware of it. So
Yes,
basically, we need to understand everybody has the same amount of time. One thing we can never negotiate with anybody, rich, poor, including Ambani, or let it be Modi, let it be Sandhya, let it be Gautam, anybody. One thing we have, everybody has the same as 24 hours of time. That's it. How do you use it is a challenge. Okay. So coming back to Facebook, and that guy said, like, you know, that like is what I asked him, why so much, why are you, like, you know, big mango, and this is what the term I use. Then he said, like, you know, no ma'am, I'm not big mango, but you know, I constantly check for that. Check for the validation. Of course, there were a lot of other things which we had to tend to discuss with that guy to, like, you know, make him understand how we can work on it, all these things. But the whole intention is to get an external validation for your one post. So I'm sure many of the parents here would be wanting to, like, you know more about what to do. Can we change this slide? So these are the top 10 social media platform. I'm sure many of you know. And Facebook is the king, followed by all others. And WhatsApp has already opened a university. All of you know that. So WhatsApp University, anything comes, I think you have done a master's. So I would say people who are into social media addiction, they're also people who are not completely factual about what is true and what is not true. That's an unfortunate situation, because anything comes there is taken without even verifying it. Because, you know, I think I may even today I get around forwarded messages saying like so many things which are not true. So nobody is even verifying that. That's a biggest threat of WhatsApp. And also, like, you know, we all have a brain which can tell you, like, what are the facts and what are not the facts. So I think Telegram is really growing up. If you see Snapchat, to be frank, I am not in Snapchat because I couldn't understand what's the fun in Snapchat. Please, somebody explain me what is the fun in Snapchat. I will really want to volunteer to understand, like, you know, what exactly is that. You share your live location, man, everybody, and you share what you are doing, and that's the biggest threat. I really wonder. At least with Facebook, you need to tag the place, and you know it's a choice. But in Snapchat, you don't have that choice at all. It's a mandate. I don't know how many of you are in Snapchat to understand, but that is a mode of it. Am I correct, Gautam? If I'm not wrong, please correct me.
Yeah, one of the reasons is, ma'am, like the student who are using that, they're maintaining the streak. That's the main thing. Yeah, I know it's kind of.
See, I'm fine if it is, like, you know, if it is confined to your own people. But you know, there are people who can do it like any time of the day. I've seen posters so bad, like, you know, they are they are doing so many private stuff, and still they want to post it. That's unfortunate. What is that telling? That means you're not mindful. You're not self-aware. Yeah. I think initially Pinterest was also coming in this. By now it's like gone way behind. It's not even coming. Because I feel Pinterest contents are much better comparatively. At least you have something quality there. which is no more. If you see, it's not in any of this top list. I think when I was doing a session 3 years back, it was coming within the 10. Okay, going to next slide. So this is what it has been. The internet addiction was not introduced in this DSM-4. Now in DSM-5 it is being introduced. So they don't call it as an internet addiction itself, but they have classified it as a gaming disorder. Okay, they come under gaming disorder. So, but there are no many. I think DSM is not going to be added now, but it's already classified because all mental health professionals are aware of the consequences of the social media which it is bringing. So why it is more dangerous, that's something. Next slide, can go. So why it is more dangerous? The first thing we just need to understand, the feeling restless. So tell me, feeling restless always, feeling irritable always, how can you manage your mood if these are the two emotions which are two emotions which you're always dealing with? Fidgeting, like not able to sit at place, and eating food and loud noise, and also, like, the worst thing is, like, if not able to sleep. I think this generation, I was talking to a sleep expert a couple of days back. The one thing he said is, one thing this generation is losing is 1.5 hour of sleep less. They are sleeping 1.5 hour less than what our generation was sleeping, or maybe the generation next to me was sleeping. So this is a sleep deprived generation. So do you understand what sleep deprived means? So your cognitive functioning is lesser compared to the older generation. So that is no good. I do understand everything is in the tip of your hand, but are you guys shallow or are you guys deep is a big question one needs to understand. And again, when I say all, it is not all. But there are people who are doing excellent work using social media. They are growing their business, like, like tremendously. However, there are also people who have the different brain structure. Just imagine, I'm just giving a case of people with ADHD. So ADHD itself is an hyperactive place. It's not all ADHD, but so when you already have a differently altered brain, and for that you're giving a gadget which is, like, which is going to tell you, like, come on, bel mujhe maar, like, let's do it. It's like that. So that's not okay. So what I want to tell is, not everybody is getting the wrong effect of it, but some are using it very, very well. Okay, and also, like, some are using it as a tool to learn, some are using it as a tool to design, some are using it as a tool to communicate, and in fact build their business. But there are also some. Last I think 3 months back I had a case. I want to discuss that case, because the case is like this. The child was from Bangalore. So the child was brought to me when, not child, he's an 18-year-old guy. He was brought to me because nobody was ready to treat him, because he had an extreme anxiety, and second is he was extremely angry. So when we looked at the history, he has not even slept for 2 hours. If I see his internet, is 18 hours of watching Snapchat and editing Snapchat and Instagram, 18 hours, and the child has not slept at all. So for us, the thing is, of course, they went to NIMHANS. There, the NIMHANS doesn't admit the kids with internet addiction. That is one little challenge, because, there are already a lot of people with substance addiction there. So they really don't have. What they do is in-house. They do an inpatient treatment and they'll send you. They'll do an outpatient treatment and they'll send you. The whole issue is the child had to get an admission done, because he was in psychosis. He was not able to eat. He was not able to drink, and he was hyper anxious. And it, like, the parents were not even aware, like, this can also happen because of the internet usage. So anybody of you are aware, like, have you met any people who are in psychosis because of the thing is very bad, that the child was not even able to eat food. Like, the food was also, like, he was so wanting to be on his phone. So he had lost weight. He had also, like, he was angry. He was giving because in the one thing his father did, as usual, the parents don't know how to handle many a situation. What the parent did was cut his internet off, and the child got really mad. He started banging the door. He broke the door. He broke the washing machine and everything. Ultimately, he was captured and taken to not an actual de-addiction center for behavior, but he was taken to the de-addiction center of substance use. That's a sad part, because though the process is same, but you meet different sort of people. So this is a difficult case if you don't handle it properly. So staying online longer. Now, Gautam, can we just bring in your case itself? What is the
Yes, ma'am.
longest use of internet you have done per day?
But the minimum amount of time is like 5 to 8 hours.
Minimum, that is.
Minimum, yes, ma'am.
So
I think
I'm
my
asking about the maximum.
maximum it went up to 13. Maximum.
Maximum. Okay.
Yeah, for today, I think. 1 second, ma'am. I just.
And that was in a wiser future. They got it so that people understand and they stop. So on an average, you're doing around 9 hours, Gautam?
Minimum up to 6 to 7. That's it.
6
Nowadays, yeah, controlling the same. Try to.
Okay. So do you know, like, what do you do? Like, what is your answer if somebody calls you for a function? What is your answer? Do you want to go? What do you say to them?
I'll go.
You go?
Yeah.
And there also, what do you do? Do you connect with people or do you connect with your phone?
Connect with people.
So that is something not a problem for you?
No,
Like
ma'am.
connecting to people. So that means you have no issue to let your phone go when you have something interesting happening around.
Yeah, I'll like off the phone away and interact with others. No issue with that.
That's good. That's good. But
Yeah.
there are people who lie, saying that no, 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 I'm just going to come, and they sit in bathroom for hours. There are people I've seen 2 hours, 3 hours of bathroom hours, because they're not taking bath, they're not shitting there, but what they're doing is sitting and using their internet and using their social media, especially posting something, looking for validation, or maybe, like, some people, TikTok is something they want to do videos everywhere, post it everywhere, and again looking for the validation from others.
Ma'am, this is my screen time. Today's screen time 5 hours. Yesterday it was 4, and day before yesterday it was 7. Yeah, that's it. The lowest is like 4 hours.
Okay.
That which is
Lowest
yesterday.
is 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you using it well?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay.
No.
So can we work on how do we use it well, and, like, let's understand what are the problem because of long usage of unproductive social media. Would that be okay? Because the whole thing is, Gautam, how many friends do you have?
Now it's a small circle. Like
Because of social media you have, or is because of your actual friends you have?
Actual friends is like 6. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Otherwise, it's like so many friends I have. But the actual friends is like 6. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Next slide. Can we go? So what do you do if there is no net in that place wherever you go? How is your behavior? We are working on behavior now. Are you
In my case,
somebody? Mhm. Just imagine there is now Kerala, Wayanad. If you see, I don't think so. There is any internet there. So, how would you handle your emotions if there is no net connection? Yeah.
for my case, ma'am, I do have one small farming in my house,
Ach.
dragon fruit. So most of the time, I spend my time there, as well
Okay.
as I'm
So
doing the
that's already a great thing because
yeah.
you have an alternate place where you can, like, because you don't have this. I'm sure you have something else.
Something else
Like,
means
you have something else to do. You're not like jobless without it, right?
yeah. Yes, ma'am. So
So end of the day, that
basically,
matters a lot, isn't it? Because there is something which you're using. So, internet addiction is something which we need to understand. It just doesn't affect you personally, but also it affects family, it affects academics, it affects finances. How does this affect finances? Anybody has thought about it? Have you thought about it?
no, ma'am.
So, finances, because there is no job, you're not even working for your resume, you're not even uplifting your skills. So when there is no skill building happening, don't you think that's already a financial loss? Hmm?
Yes.
Okay. So now, one question is, there is a huge pandemic which is happening. Anybody has an idea what's the pandemic? Anybody?
Mental
What's the
health.
next? Yeah? Mental health, yeah. Otherwise, in mental health, anything in particular? Loneliness? Loneliness is the next pandemic which is happening. So now tell me, why loneliness?
Social anxiety, because of social anxiety.
Yeah, one may be social anxiety. It may be also because virtual friends and virtual life is so happening that the interest to stay in this life is not at all there. Correct, right? I know the smile on Gautam's
Yeah, ma'am. I
face.
do have one friend. She is very much active in groups. Like one of them had any messaging group, immediately she'll respond and give suggestions about that. But if we gather around like in a offline medium, like she's like introvert. She's busy with her
I think
phone.
this introvert is not a term I would say because
Like I
introverts
just mean that because she is with with her phone in that corner. That's it. That's
so there is
me.
a huge dependency on the phone and I don't know. If it is phone, it may be gaming, it may be editing, it may be anything. It may just not be social media. There may be anything, isn't it? Okay, now let's understand what are the psychological factors which causes this internet disorder, or maybe like what exactly the social media disorder will lead you to. Like first is depression, because not exactly there may be sadness initially, not understanding what the sadness is for. Then there may be like low mood syndrome, lot of things like mood related, and there may be a dip in your own life that you don't even understand how to come up. And now, how are you going to categorize it? Are you going to call it as an addiction or an adjunct to addiction? There is one more problem. So depression doesn't come with with warnings. If you have a continuous habit of something, then probably the depression is something which you are calling for, isn't it? Then there is something also which you need to. Okay, my glasses. Yeah. Okay. What else? I think there is a second slide. And there is a lot of guilt which comes in people who have a law addiction. That guilt is in all form of addiction. Tell me what are the other form of addiction it may come in, especially if a person is pornography addict. There is a huge guilt because when there is pornography, this is a subject which is still which they cannot discuss in public. So and also what are you doing? If the question is what are you doing, he can't say like I'm just watching reels. Okay, come let's sit together and watch. This question is something I always ask my clients when they come. Okay, what do you watch? Can you just show it to me? If they say no, then that's already a red flag, saying like, there is something they are watching which is not so okay. And it's the same with people who have addiction to gaming, and also people who have an addiction to shares. They don't show their mobiles. This is one way to make them understand, make us feel like, okay, there is something which is not okay, right? So yeah, and also with lot of usage of anything comes anxiety. So anxiety is not to know how to function tomorrow or how to function next. And that's not a great place to be, because with anxiety, then there is going to be panic attack, then there is a lot of things which can be happening, isn't it? So to understand your mental health space is not okay at all. I think there is you can go to the next 12th slide, which I'm talking. Yeah. So here I'm just, and also there is lot of lethargy, like, zero motivation to do anything. So why is that zero motivation? Because your body is trained. You have not slept, your body is trained, then it's going to be very difficult, isn't it? And lot of procrastination. Imagine there is a student who was supposed to submit something to college, but because he was watching, or maybe he was playing game, or maybe he was chatting with people in the group, the only thing he has not done is his assignment incomplete, or maybe the studies is incomplete, and everything is incomplete, then that itself causes a different level of anxiety. So procrastination, unfinished work, is one more thing which is added on to the big pool of other problems. And time management is zero, because the amount of time just goes when you are scrolling is I do this social experiment many a times. I'll ask my girl gang to keep a milk and just start scrolling the phone. The milk would have boiled, then only when it smells, people realize, like, oh my god, many of the girls have started buying the milk cookers, because it gives you that warning sign, shh. So this is like, internet addiction or social media addiction has not left anybody. It's not about this generation, like, the younger generation alone. Younger generation alone is because, they have the rush of dopamine. They are adrenaline driven people. Hence, it is more with them. Yeah. Okay, so now how do we stop it, and what is our next step about it? Yeah, and about the physical disorders, which internet affect is the first is eye. Okay, I here it is not mentioned. Eye is one of the most. In fact, if you anytime see research papers, what they say is at least 25% percentage more of dry eyes is added. And also because I worked in research industry, my pharma friend says, like, anybody wants to do an like refresh teardrops, these things, because that's happening, that's a thing which is happening, trending. And the amount of usage of spectacles which is required nowadays is, I think everybody is into it. So we need to be first thing is eye. Then what I want to tell is severe headaches. People are having migraines, headaches, and also, like, because there is no proper sleep. And sleep has been I already told, sleep deprived generation it is, like, you're sleeping 1.5 hour less than what we were sleeping. That means I think I was sleeping an average of 7 hours. I wouldn't say 8 hours, because I was into sports and all. Probably your generation is sleeping 5 hours, which is one of the most damaging thing happening to the brain, because only way your brain can be relaxed is when you sleep. Otherwise, nothing, no yoga, no meditation, nothing can calm your brain as much as a sleep can. So that is very important. And the huge problem with the neck, because the whole neck weight is on the phone. I'm sure nobody is going to watch a phone like this. Is there anybody watching the phone like this with the neck straight? I don't think so, right? So that is Gautam. Yeah, tell me, Gautam.
Yeah,
You
ma'am.
have a
After I
question?
just no. I used to watch my phone like this straight.
But you got
But
the shoulder pain, isn't it?
sometimes, but after like I
How
used to
old are you,
sit.
Gautam?
I'm 19.
Okay, 19 and shoulder pain is we were never heard of.
Ma'am, I do have back pain issue.
Wow, that's one more add-on.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of the poor nutrition, not exposure to sun, no
No,
daily
ma'am, I do
activity.
have an injury when I was in 10th standard due to long jump. But
Okay.
due to the online sessions for the past 2 years, due to the corona and all, after that only I'm facing this problem.
I agree. That's why
Yeah.
I said, like, it becomes, the corona was not just the pandemic, it gave this pandemic also to us,
Yes.
right? So, yeah, I think I've covered most of the physical effect of the internet addiction or disorder. Next, let's start with the first step. So, first step when I ask is if a person is researching on how to reduce the internet use. If somebody is browsing to see how to reduce the internet use, that already says like there is a problem and person wants to solve a problem. So Gautam, have you ever searched how do I reduce internet usage, or maybe how do I stop using my phone? Have you searched
I have searched like this, like what is the like what is the problem, like what are the reasons causing for phone addictions. That way I just researched, but I didn't research about how to overcome it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to overcome it? My question to you is honest.
Yes, ma'am. Like I try to keep all those apps which distract me in a time, like a timer.
Okay.
After the particular timer, it will like get off, and I like try to keep a password from my mother, so she will keep a password for that.
So you have a password keeper also.
Yeah. So during the exams and all, I try this app. So she will keep the password. Like for phone, I used like 1 hour time for YouTube. So after the 1 hour, it will automatically get off. And
But
if I
don't you
need
think
to,
there are so many people involving just because of this addiction? Don't you think you are taking help from so many people, not required also? It's not required, isn't it? At this age, if you have to give your phone to your mother, don't you think it's like you're already asking help, which is good. Which is good if you're
Yeah.
breaking it, isn't it?
Ma'am, there's another
Somebody else is
person
also
written
asking
by
question.
I
Go
have
on.
searched.
Yeah, go on. I'm not able to see.
No, so she said that I have also searched about
Okay.
the
So-
problem. Yeah.
How did you feel when you searched?
Like I saw many solutions. I have tried it out, but still I am facing the issue.
Yeah, because the whole issue is because this is a very small thing and you can carry it in your pocket. See, if it was your laptop, you couldn't have carried it in a pocket. So what you would have done is you would have kept it somewhere and have gone. But because this is so tiny and you can fit it in your pocket, you generally tend to carry it everywhere, wherever you go. It's like your hutch dog. It follows you wherever it goes. You need to understand that. That's a problem. And I'm sure you're not ready to leave it and leave your phone and go. I'm sure that's going to give a panic.
Yes,
Finding more when I search. Yeah.
even as the last solution, I tried like using the focusing mode feature in the phone, and also at last I switched off my phone. Right now, I have my phone in my drawer switched off.
That's a good thing. If you're doing that, I would say that's a good thing, because you're already understanding the problem which is causing you, isn't it? So what I would ask you is, who are trying to break, first write the problem statement. What exactly is your problem? Is it actually the phone, or is it actually that you are not you're not having any other thing to do? What exactly is your right problem for the why you're using? Write your
Um,
problem statement. Yeah.
There's another person who's written finding more when I search, and
No, I think.
another person wrote, I'm lagging to start the first step.
Yeah, I think that is because probably you are not found the reason why you have to leave it. But if that's a question, I have a counter question to you is, then why attend this session? There should be a reason, right? Maybe this is your call too. This is the reason why you're attending the session, right? Okay.
Maybe
Fine.
this is their first step.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. You're not lagging behind. You're already into it. Okay. So what are the other things? What I generally ask people to do is get into something very simple. As first thing to do is get off your hands free. Keep your hands free. Like what I generally ask them to is dirty your hands so that you don't touch your mobile. I generally give the in my group therapy where I do, what I generally do is ask them to wear a gloves. Wherein when one funny thing, if you wear a gloves, your touch screen doesn't work. So that works as a very good because in a group of 8 kids, that's what I told them. All of you are coming with gloves. They were not understanding why, but you are also coming with your phone. And they started doing it, they were trying to touch screen, they didn't happen, and then they gave up. They gave up, and then they started storytelling. They started doing some other fun activity, and also they started doing this mirror work with the gloves in their hand. So all these things are something which, as a therapist, I do some creativity here. But as a student, teachers, they can do many things. No phone is one thing. If you say don't bring the phone to college, I'm sure it's going to be more pain than you have to go collect the phones. That goes to a principal's office, and then there is a mother who is being called, then father is called, then all this drama. Instead, what I would generally say is, okay, if you are somebody who is not interested in the class, what I say is switch off your mobile, or maybe put it in the silent mode and sit in the last bench. I'm giving them the freedom, but I always say that I'm not that boring. Please listen to me. So it's important. And in a support group, as Gautam has made it, in his support group, if you see, his mother is already part of his support group, which is an amazing thing. Because especially, I think I give this in by I think December to April, all kids are in love with their parents because they want their mobile to be kept with them, and they want them to watch their study time, all these things. So I think support group is not coming from outside. Support group can be also inside. And I always tell people, stop texting. Instead, pick up the call and call, because the moment they text, there is a lot of anxiousness and ambiguity coming. You don't know where the other person has kept the phone, but you are wanting to get the answer back. And this blue tick syndrome, I call it as, oh my god, I removed my blue tick because I didn't wanted anybody to see like whether I've seen the message or not seen. Because it's like you saw and you didn't message me back. That only means that you are ignoring me. I am not important. Hey man, it's not that I'm cooking. Hey man, it's not that I'm having guests. Because you are in the zone where you are
Ma'am,
yeah.
sorry for interrupting. Like nowadays, people used to call that ghosting.
Come again?
Ghosting, like the condition you said now.
I didn't understand.
If you send me a
Ghosting,
text message, yes.
Ghosting, I think ghosting is used for some other thing, but yeah, you guys are also like, yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, seriously, that one message, instead, what I generally ask is, if you're anxious, call. I'm sure many of the people, if they don't attend the call, that means they are doing something important, right? We need to understand that. And especially this trend of blocking people because they didn't respond is one more level. I think I have a client who comes to me. She is like, she comes about her boyfriend and she says, "Ma'am, you know what? He's not responding to my call." I know her now. By now, I know her. I just ask her, "How long?" "Ma'am, it's 30 minutes. He's not responding." I was like, "Okay, 30 minutes. Yesterday night, ma'am, he's online. I am going on texting me. He's not texted me." I said, "So don't you think he has any other job other than texting you alone?" She says, "No, ma'am, nothing. I know everything." And this word is like, "I know everything he does." I said, that is itself a big myth. If you say like, "I know everything he does," that's already a stupidity which you are in. So the work is this. The work is, I've given her this homework. Like, if you want to text yourself. And then take a pause for 3 minutes and then post that text to anybody. So after this tool she's using, her anxiety has come down. Like in the scale of 0 to 10, she was always coming to me at the 7.5 or 8.59. Now it has actually come to 5. So I think if somebody is a blue tick syndrome, please understand. First, you remove your blue tick. Like, you can do that. And second thing is, people have other jobs too. Please understand that. And they may be sleeping, men. Please understand. If you call, it's easier because the conversation is lesser. When you text, the amount of time you take is too high. That's the reason. So I always suggest people to call instead of text. Texting kills lot of time, and the amount of texting you need to do can get you a lot of problem with your fingers. This is a joke which I wanted to tell. With so much of internet use, one of my cousin had come home. She was like, her husband was like looking over the phone, and every time he was touching the screen, and she said this, "My husband, if he had touched half of how much he is touching that, our life would have been much better." Do you understand? Like, that's already saying something, right? When she's saying, there is already something saying that she's already affected because of the internet use. Maybe she's not able to express to him, or maybe he's not understanding, but these are all again a small red flags, right, in a relationship. Yeah. So then everything problematic use of social media is causing is anxiety, is causing is body shaming, there is bullying, there is lot of people have also come into crime, cyber crimes, all these things are happening. So we need to understand. I think you can go to the 20th slide, which I'm going to talk now. Support group is, I also run a support group for social media addicts. So the support group is sometimes online. Mostly I prefer it offline, because when it is offline, I tend to do a lot of activity. The activity including, we do hide and seek, we do frog jump, we also do like tug of wars. Like, it's amazing the way they go back after that is like highly motivated, and they look forward for this. Is a 15 days one session which we do group therapy. Amazing results. When even if you tend to want to do it in college, I can help you with that. It's an amazing results, because there is lot of physical bonding which happens, and that is something everybody wants to. This is a small handbook which I generally refer of. This is a beautiful, cute little book which tells you what all you can do. It's I think it's a 20th slide. So if somebody is looking for a book which you want to read, this is a cute little book. I always keep it handy because it helps you to see what I can do to get off the internet. Like, what they say is, put your like, don't go for a run or a walk with your earplugs. Just keep it somewhere and then run. That gives you a sense of freedom, and also that gives you a sense of purpose because you are actually doing your exercise. So this book gives you a lot of things about it. So like how to use a gratitude, how to use sun, how to use gardening, how to use in fact salads, how to make salads. All these things are something which will help you, because when you are doing something with your hands, then you're not watching. It's okay if you are listening to podcasts. I'm okay with that, because there at least you are including a lot of other sensory organs. You need to be alert with your ears, and also like you can do many other things which are physically moving. That's okay, but not 24 bar 7 scrolling. Yeah. Okay. Then coming to this is one clinic in Bangalore. It's in Nimhans Shut Clinic. This is service for healthy use of technology. They do a good. I think the doctor, I forgot his name. He's excellent. He does good service. So if anybody feels like I need to consult, that is a place one can go. They are very helpful, and also they're very kind. That's something very important. Kind, and also like they still come with an empathy for internet addict people, because generally what has happened is people have lost empathy to the generation because they think like they are useless. That's how the older generation think. But that's not true. That's not true, because I love this generation, because they have so much of facility they can use. Yeah. So these are digital detox. I think you have this slide can be shared with the participant, whoever is there, because that will help them. Okay. Like I generally don't use my mobile as my waking up tool. I have a physical alarm even today, because that gives me a purpose. Because I don't touch the mobile in the morning. I switch off my alarm, though I have my biological clocks, but I still, and then I don't see my screen at least for the first 1.5 hours when I get up, because that is the best thing you can do to yourself, because that is the most productive hour of the day. And also no phone near my bed. I don't charge my phone near my bed. And I suggest people not to charge near the bed, because once you have that, it's an easy tendency to go back and check. Tong, tong, and all my notifications are being muted. All. Nothing is unmuted. Please try to unmute all your notifications, because the notification, it's like a small bomb thread. Tuck, tuck, tuck. So it's better you just I think unnotified also you can see. I don't have pop-up notification also. I don't have voice notification also. If I want to see, I'm going to open the app and see, only if it is urgent and important to me. Can that be one of your tool you can use? And also phone free food, like whenever you're having food. I know that's a most challenging thing. Most of my clients say, ma'am, I want my phone with my food, ma'am. Then the sad part is you're not enjoying food, and that's why the obesity is high, because you don't even know what you're eating. The sense, the eating is a sense, right? Your all of your sensory organs are involved. The touch is involved, your taste is involved, your smell is involved, your vision is involved, and the way you feel is involved. All these are minused when you sit with the mobile or maybe anything. So you don't even know how, whether you are eating a pizza or you are eating a burger. And I think many vegetarians are converted to non-vegetarians because they don't know what they're eating. Maybe I'm little doing it little extra drama, but yeah, that's also there. Okay. Yeah, because without fun, I'm sure you will not be able to enjoy the session. So I need humor. Humor is my go-to place. Yeah, yes, Gautam, creaming has become a digital salt. I think I had a great post about it. I didn't put it though. So if somebody is interested in cooking, that would be the best thing to start with. So, like, cooking may not be every, normal meal. Start cooking something exotic because that will help you. And again, the sad part is, even while cooking, ma'am, I need my YouTube because I don't know how to cook otherwise. It's okay. If that's the case, then keep it far and do it. Listen to it. So, yeah. And uh, the best solution for any of the addiction is movement. So movement can be dance, movement can be skipping, movement can be aerobics, or movement can be just talking with your arms and legs moving around. So movement has always helped people because when you're moving, you don't need to have your mobile. So that's an advantage. And movement also helps you in anxiety management, depression management. It also helps you in your loneliness, a lot of things. So I think if you see, the movement is becoming a trend in psychology. People are focusing more on movement because the amount of help it is giving is immense, immense. Hence, okay. And I will give you a challenge, Gautam. From today, it's okay to use an internet or anything. I want you to do one poem a day. Memorize a poem. You
One
remember
poem.
Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Not that, okay? Not that, okay? But you are going to do something little, maybe in a Malayalam, a little para. One para. Tomorrow you're going to do two paras. So what you are doing is you're giving a different brain work. So that is something which you
Okay.
can do. And of course, for you, Gautam, it's an advantage because you have a farm, you're already into the farm, you're working.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
that's the case, I'm happy. But plants and mud. These are something which gives you a beautiful therapy to your mind and body. So if somebody is with sand, take it from me, you're already doing a great job for your mental health.
Okay, ma'am.
So and also you can I always suggest people to join what's that, any speech forum or Toastmasters, so that you get involved with people around who are working to talk and who are making you see how do you talk and how do you walk, watch your body language. When you are in the group, it's going to be much easier to break down the addicted habits. Okay, board games helps a lot, especially your Ludo, anything with Uno, or maybe Chocobara. In Kannada we call it as Chocobara. What do you call? I don't know. There are a lot of games, board games, which are being like not used. I think you should start back to the board games. It will really help. So yeah, if nothing works, we are there as a therapist helping you. So therapy works very well because with the way, at least in a group therapy, I see 8 kids in 15 days. They are progressing excellent. Now it has become like they are coming to group therapy just not for like getting out of the addiction, because they are enjoying this togetherness. So that's how it becomes. If group therapy is one of the best form to break any addiction. Okay. So and family, of course, family needs to understand because the sad part of the family is this is one thing which I want to bring in. You are watching the mobile and you're asking a child not to watch a mobile. That is hypocrisy, because that's a problem, because mother is always on a phone and expecting the child to sit and study is definitely not a great thing to do. So that's when family therapy plays a bigger role. And psychotherapy, pharmacotherapy, especially if there is huge use and psychosis, all these things, then we need medications, and medications are being given. One to anxiety, for the sleep. Even then, people don't sleep, irrespective of that. So these are some things for management, and any counselor who knows can handle it. If they don't, you can always refer to me, or any expert in this area. Like, these are some funny words which I've gotten, like the FOMOs, the JOMOs. I think you all know it. I don't even have to tell about it, right? I think I know less, rather you know. And these are the 5 restricting apps. Are you using any of them? Freedom, antisocial, self-control, cold turkey, anything? So you can take down this, because these are freedom is very often used by kids, because that helps you. That blocks you. like 2 hours, even if you like of course there are tools which you can, but if you are in a serious study mode and you don't want anybody and you don't have mom who can support you, then you can put it in this freedom app, and then it takes care of it. Yeah, this is a glimpses through what exactly uh, internet addiction is, but this is just a glimpse. Okay, you have the whole thing is people have to work on coping skills. What are the coping skills? How is your problem solving? How is your decision making? Why are you not able to manage your addiction or manage your own emotions? These are some things which you need to work on, talk on, like discuss with people. Then it's going to be the easiest way to get out of any addiction. This is just not about social media or internet, any addiction for that matter. So these are the important skills required. So if you can imagine why. And this is next slide is about, there are some tips. I told you already these tips about how to handle. Deep breathing has helped people. The deep breathing, drinking water, all these things are really helpful for people. And deleting apps is the best thing which you can do. But I don't know if deleting app causes anxiety, then I would say not. Because there was a girl who came to me, I asked her, your exams are coming, would you like to delete your Instagram? She said, yes, ma'am. Because she's in therapy, the high level of Josh, because whatever ma'am says. And I said, okay, do. Then she deleted in front of me. And by the time halfway she went, ma'am, I'm not able to even breathe, ma'am. I'm feeling it very, very difficult. I said, okay, then don't do that. So, reinstall your Instagram, then we will work in a different strategy. Everybody cannot do that, so we have to help them according to it. So the last slide for me is this. Please understand, if you want to be happy, offline should be the way out. Yeah? Yeah, this is all from me. Any questions I'm open to, and this is my my workspace. Yeah, this is me.